What's up, students? It's Grayson. I'm super excited that you guys are here, and I want to give a special shout out to all of you that are here for the very first time. We've got something super cool for you. If you check out in the chat, we have a Zoom small group that we've created specifically for you. Now, this is a great opportunity for you to really check out what Zoom groups are and get a feel for them before you're thrown in with a group of people that you may not necessarily know. Odds are you're going to love it and you'll be able to get plugged in with the right group. Now, all of you guys, you should be following us on Instagram, and that's going to pop up on the screen. And it's really the best chance for you to be connected to everything that we're doing. This week, we had a super cool event that we did on Thursday where two of our students actually organized a hangout where we all played Fortnite together. It was awesome. And if you followed us on Instagram, then you probably got several reminders to sign up and participate in that with us. Definitely encourage you guys to subscribe to our Instagram pages and follow along with what we're doing. It's definitely worth your time. We love giving stuff away. And so we've been giving some pizza away, and it's been really good. But this week we want to switch it up. We want to give away a free burrito dinner. So what you need to do to be entered to win is put #burritos, and you'll be entered to win a free burrito dinner on us that will get sent to your house. That's like the perfect situation to find yourself in. So just put #burritos to be entered to win. And we'll announce the winner at the end of the stream. So one of the things that we also love doing is playing games. And this week we played a really interesting game called Sports Drink or Body Wash. Check out this video and see what it's all about.
What is going on, everyone? My name is Kaiser, and I'm the middle school director here at Journey. And today we're going to play a game called Sports Drink or Body Wash. Have you ever wondered that sports drinks and body washes sound very much alike? Well, we have. And today we're gonna have our contestants, based off name alone, decide if something in their cup is a sports drink or if it's just soap. So let's go ahead and meet our contestants and start the game. Hey guys, I'm here with Josh Fisher. How you doing, Josh?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Are you ready to play sports drink or body wash?
I think so.
All right, so you have Riptide Rush
Riptide Rush.
or Island Rush.
Okay.
Based off name alone, which one is a sports drink and which one's soap?
Ooh, I feel like Island Rush sounds like a body wash, and Riptide Rush sounds like a Gatorade. But it doesn't matter because I usually bathe with sports drinks, not the other way around. I've made it this far, so.
All right, Josh, so which one is the sports drink?
I'm gonna go with Riptide Rush.
All right, go ahead, take a big gulp. Don't look in the cup and tell us what it is.
Well, that's good.
Congratulations, you got that one. Hey guys, I'm here with Carrie. How you doing, Carrie?
Okay.
Doing okay? Well, are you ready for sports drink or body wash?
No.
Well, we're gonna play anyway.
Okay.
So you have Quench or Icy Charge. Which one's soap and which one's a sports drink?
Okay, I think Quench, you would drink Quench to quench your thirst.
Okay, logical.
Icy Charge, you need a charge of energy from a body wash. So that's drink body wash.
Quench is the drink. Let's find out if it's a sports drink or just soap.
Do I get to drink the drink or drink the
You're gonna
body
drink
wash?
what you think's a sports drink.
That, okay. It's not fair, but all right.
It's soap! You got your spit cup, Carrie. You got...
I swallowed it.
Oh, man.
Kaiser.
Hey, guys, I'm here with Grayson. How you doing, Grayson? Fantastic. We're going to play sports drink or body wash. Grayson, you have Sports Blast or Mango Extremo. Based off name alone, which one's a sports drink and which one's soap?
Here's the deal. I feel like Sports Blast
Yeah?
is over the top marketing if that's a sports drink. So, and I don't know if I've ever seen a Mango Extremo, so I think I'm going Mango Extremo.
All right, Mango Extremo, sports drink or soap? Taste it and let us know. Oh, it's a sports drink. Mango Extremo. Sports drink. Congratulations,
I
Chick.
need to know what brand that is. That was actually really good. Yeah.
Get rid of that one.
All right,
All right, Josh. Here we go.
let's try.
Sports drink or body wash. You have strawberry lemonade or strawberry lemonade.
You kidding me?
One is actually a sports drink and one is actually body wash. It's up to you to decide which cup is the correct cup.
I have no idea. Do they feel different?
You can't touch
I
them.
can't touch them.
Gosh. Off the
All right.
name alone.
I'm gonna go off of strawberry lemonade. That's what I choose. This one.
That one. All right. Take a big gulp for yourself. It's soap or sports drink.
Oh gosh. I knew it was soap. I knew it was soap.
Did you drink it?
I took a big swig. You said go big or go home.
you can.
I knew it was soap when I turned it up, and I could. It's usually not fragrant, but I did, and it's gross. I gotta wash it down with this real stuff. You put me in a lose-lose situation here. I don't like it.
Thank you for playing, Josh. All right, Carrie.
Yep. I'm
Here
ready.
we go.
I'm ready.
Sports drink or body wash. Citrus Rush or Citrus Cooler. Which one's a sports drink and which one's soap?
Well, you want to. Okay, cooler would be like if it's hot outside and you need a cool drink.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say citrus cooler, sports drink. Citrus Rush is the body wash for sure.
Okay. Go ahead and take a sip of Citrus Cooler and tell us if we're right or wrong. Or if you're right or wrong. Is that soap?
That's sports drink.
It's sports drink. Oh, I was nervous for a second. Oh man! Congratulations, Carrie.
Well, what did I get right? Nothing. I got this one right.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Ugh. Yuck.
All right, Grayson. Here's your two options. You have Fiji or Fiji. Based off name alone, which one is sports drink and which one's soap?
This is a spit cup, right?
That's a spit cup.
All right, I just want to be ready. I'm going with this one.
That Fiji. Let's see if he's right. Big gulp. He must have got the soap. Grayson, just so you know, both of those were soap. Fiji is not a sports drink.
Don't play
Guys.
this game.
Guys, thank you so much for playing with us. We'll catch you next time.
Ah!
Man, that was definitely interesting. I can tell you from firsthand experience that drinking soap is not really fun. It's definitely not as fun as drinking Gatorade or something like that. So those guys are troops. Today, we have something really awesome in store for you, and that's our third week of our current series called Love, Hate. We have an awesome speaker here with us today. Her name is Elise Burdett, and if you've been here before, you may have heard her speak. She does an amazing job every time, and if you're new, you're in for a treat because she's definitely one of the best. So I encourage you to sit back and relax and really listen to what Elise has prepared because it's definitely going to be great.
Hey y'all, my name is Elise and I'm so glad to be here with you. Well, sort of. I'm sad that you're not here, but I'm glad to be speaking this week for week 3 of our Love-Hate series. Maybe you're joining us for the first time, or maybe you've been with us for this whole series, but I'm excited that you're here. So to start off this week, I'd like to show you something I used to love as a kid. These books were called Mad Lib books, and oh man, I used to love these things. So on each page there would be the story, and within the story you could fill in the blanks, an adjective, a pronoun, a body part, something crazy, right? And based on the context surrounding the word or surrounding the blank, you would plug in a word there that you wanted to use to create a story. So the whole concept here was to use context clues to assume what should go in the blank to make a story what you wanted. Oftentimes in life, we fill in the blank on other things, right? Companies spend billions of dollars trying to get us to purchase or fill in the blank with their product. For instance, if I used the phrase 2-day or less lightning fast shipping, one company has done a pretty darn good job of creating a reputation of fast shipping. And we know that that is Amazon, right? We want Prime all day, every day. It's quick, it's convenient. If I was to say the phrase for a reputation of the best chicken sandwich ever, 2 companies come to mind, one more favored for me than the other. But I think these 2 companies, Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, have done a really nice job of establishing a reputation that they have a great chicken sandwich. So, see, companies hire all of these people and spend all this money trying to get us to fill in the blank of our purchases with their company. And being able to fill in the blank with their company means they've successfully done their job. They've created a reputation for their product. And it's interesting, this is something that we spend very little time on for ourselves, and something they spend lots of money to shape. You see, a reputation is made up of all sorts of things, and it brings out all kinds of assumptions about who we are. For instance, if I read some phrases to you, you quickly would probably generate some thoughts or assumptions about that phrase. For instance, every rich kid is, or the AP Honors CBG students at my school are, or the people who wear that brand are, or the people who hang out with that kid are. You see, it doesn't take long for our brains to generate thoughts or make assumptions and fill in the blank, right? And I could even bring it closer to home. If I said the people who go to Cosby High School are, or the people that go to Manchester, or the people that go to Tomahawk. You see, we're pre-wired with these assumptions about people or about where they come from. Even though we don't say them out loud, or we shouldn't, we tend to assume what we should expect about people. And then when we expect something from them and they do it, then we're like, see, I knew you'd do that, or I knew they'd be like that. You see, this isn't a teenager thing. This is a human thing. As a matter of fact, it infects most of society. It's everywhere. And I'm curious if you would think about, where do these fill in the blanks come from for us? Where do we learn to fill these blanks in? And I think there's 2 major places that those come from: our experiences and our insecurities. You see, we may have had an experience with someone like them, and so we assume and prejudge about the next person we meet like them, right? Or they may have said something to us, and so we use that experience to prejudge what it would be like in the future. Or our insecurities cause us sometimes to assume things about others, right? We're jealous of what they have, and we feel behind, and so we assume the worst about them because of what they show us about ourselves. You know, like if they got captain, or they got first seat, or they have the trendiest clothes, whatever it is. You see, our limited experiences and insecurities cause us to fill in the blanks and convince ourselves that we know way more about somebody than we actually do. And the worst part about this is we often fill in the blank with negative, rude, hateful things, right? And the even worse part about this is we hate it when people do this for us. I mean, don't you? Hate it when somebody uses one experience or one thing they saw, maybe not even directly from you, to assume something about you? It's not a good feeling. So how do we prevent this temptation to do this towards others? I think there's this really amazing story in the Bible that helps us, and it's about Jesus. He was in the middle of a really intense encounter with some religious leaders called Pharisees, and the Pharisees were known as a people who had branded themselves or created a reputation of being better than other people. And Jesus had this reputation of hanging out with people that the religious leaders did not hang out with, and those people were known as sinners, if you will. And so when Jesus started doing this, the religious leaders didn't like it. And there were lots of moments in the Bible where these religious leaders would try to trap Jesus into saying things that would get him in trouble or to make him look bad or discredited as a teacher. And so on this particular day, during one of these encounters, after some people had gathered to listen to Jesus in the temple, the religious leaders had caught a woman in a rated R kind of situation, and they drug her to the temple where Jesus was teaching, and they put him in a situation where he had to justify the punishment for her crime. And this is what we're about to see. It's in John chapter 8, verses 3 through 6. And it says this: As he was speaking, the teachers of the religious law and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in the act of adultery. They put her in front of the crowd and they said, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery, and the law of Moses says to stone her. But what do you say?" And see, they were trying to trap him into saying something they could use against him. I mean, even scripture says it, right? They were trying to get him to assume something about this woman's reputation based on her being caught in adultery. The leaders knew exactly what they were doing. And so if you think about this woman was caught in a situation where she was with someone else's spouse romantically. Religious people who thought they were better than her caught her. She's already in shame. And this woman knows the law. She knows that she'll be stoned as punishment to death for what she's done. Stoned for 20 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how long it takes for many, many people to throw rocks at her head as she's tied up. A morbid death. This woman knew what was in front of her because of her actions. And so the religious leaders are putting Jesus in this weird spot where he has to choose. Will he overlook this woman's obvious sin and deny the law of Moses, which is exactly what they wanted, to discredit him as a teacher? Or would Jesus allow her to be stoned, causing the crowd to turn on him? It was a trap. And so when we pick up in verse 6, we see what Jesus does. It says, Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust with his finger. And the religious leaders kept demanding an answer. So he stood up again and said, "All right, but let the first person who has never sinned throw the first stone." And when the accusers heard this, they slipped away, one by one, beginning with the oldest, until only Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. And then Jesus stood up again and said to the woman, "Where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you?" "No, Lord," she said. And Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." Mic drop right here. I'm not sure that we can fully understand the intensity of this moment. These religious leaders who built their reputation on appearing better than others and pointing out the sin of others are totally body slammed by the truth that Jesus puts in this moment. You see, with a simple statement, a statement that crushes our ability to fill in the blank with any hateful or rude assumption about others, Jesus basically says, you're really quick to point out that everyone else has gotten it wrong. But what about you? Have you ever gotten it wrong? They realize their plan backfired, and one by one, they leave. You see, hear this really quick. If you're eating a snack or doing something else, come back with me for a second. Which party in this story is guilty? The woman in adultery or the religious leaders? Both. And Jesus had a message for both parties. What is possible for your future is not determined by your past. Not if you're a Pharisee and not if you're the woman. Both are guilty and both are free to go. Both had a reputation for being one way and both can leave a totally different way than they arrived. See, Jesus challenges us to choose. Not by focusing on the sin, y'all, like the Pharisees wanted, but by focusing on the Savior, Jesus, who had already dealt with our sin. You see, this is why Jesus challenged the woman by saying, "Go and sin no more," because no matter her reputation, he made it possible for change because of who he is, not because of what she had done. It was a Jesus move. He changed everything because he responded to everyone in the situation. And you're like, "But Elise, what about her behavior?" You see, we get caught up on this just like the Pharisees. You're like, "Elise, you don't know this guy or this girl." And so oftentimes we'll say things like this, right? "They're a sinner." To which I would respond with, "Yeah, so am I." "But Elise, they're dirty and gross. I mean, I've heard the stories. I've seen some things." Yeah, I've had my moments where I've lived in the dirt. "But they're trying to do things on their own way, not God's way." Yeah, so have I. So have I. You see, Jesus causes us to see that our assumptions could be true about people, the same as they're true for me and for you. And he shows us that we don't respond based on what sin says about them, but based on what our Savior says about them. While Jesus hates sin and died so that we could be free from it, he offers grace because he killed sin on the cross. You see, this woman was branded by the context of her past, but Jesus saw her future. He called her out of her sin. and treated her according to what he saw in her. Jesus fills in the blank for this woman. You see, you say to Jesus, you could say it to him too, but they're a sinner. And Jesus would respond, yeah, that's why I came. No, but Jesus, she literally committed adultery with another man. Yeah, that's why I died and rose again, so I could get down with her in the dirt. No, but she was doing her own thing, not your way. She literally dishonored you. Yeah, well, that's why I came. I've come to show her a new way to do life. See, they thought she deserved stoning. But Jesus, he filled in the blank with a stone that had rolled away, the resurrection. It triumphed over her past, it triumphed over her present, and it triumphs over her future sin. You see, Jesus, tune in for this. Jesus always uses the context, our Mad Lib stories, the part that people use to assume about us to fill in the blank in order to show us himself. He didn't write a story about who she was because of what she had done. He wrote her story based on how she could be because of what he had done. He didn't ignore her worst. He simply chose to see the best in her. See, Jesus proved that assumptions or judgments of others make of us are not true. We are worthy of forgiveness because of him. We're worthy of a second chance because of him. We're worthy of his love because of his love on the cross. Because of Jesus, we can see their self as they should be, not as their sin says they are. And because of Jesus, we can extend to someone the same forgiveness and grace and love that he's given to us. You see, we can turn stones of hurt into stones that are rolled away. We can let Jesus fill in the blank, y'all. You see, what if this was the approach that we took when forming an opinion of someone else or ourselves even? What if we saw that people can radically change because of his love and what he's done for us? What if we believed like Jesus believes about others? I think it would prove the bottom line for today, that we should let love fill in the blank. Let Jesus, for instance, fill in the blank. You see, this would change a lot about the way we treat other people, wouldn't it? Not only that, it would change the way we treat ourselves. We may wind up realizing that, hey, I don't have to stay this person that people assume that I am. I don't have to continue to choose to do this because Jesus has made a different way, no matter my past. And we may realize we're not as awful or as perfect as we think we are. There is something so encouraging and so humbling about Jesus' approach to both parties in this story. It puts us all on the same level as people that God loves and people that Jesus died for to forgive and set free. We're not stuck in our sin because of our previous actions, and neither are others. So I'm closing here. I think it's important to remember that your story and their story isn't finished yet, that the blanks are not filled, and that you have the chance to fill them. And Jesus, he changes the way we fill in the blank. So when opportunities arise for us to assume about others or ourselves or anyone, we have to stop and remember two things. We have to remember how others have filled in the blank for us and how painful that was. And then confront it with how Jesus fills in our blanks, how he gets down in the dirt with us, how he causes people to drop their stones towards you and towards others. And then we have to think, number two, about how we've wrongly filled in the blank for other people, how we haven't seen them the way Jesus does, how we haven't gotten down with them as Jesus does. What if we filled in the blank with love, with patience, with listening to them rather than assuming about them? This is what Jesus calls us to. And without these two things, we leave out Christ in Christianity. See, Jesus came out of the grave, rolled the stone away to give us hope for change. Jesus made it so clear with the woman and with the Pharisees and with you and with me that love, Jesus, should always fill in the blank for you and for them. Thanks, y'all.